Okay. Mindi, come here. Come here. Hey Run Junkies, welcome to Runners Without Limits TV. Two of the questions I get asked quite frequently is, one, how did you get Mikko the Wonder Mutt to walk on the treadmill? And two, how did you get him to run with you? Well, today I'm going to tell you how we got Mikko to do it because Mindi is now going through the same kind of training. Mindi, come here. Hi. It's a good girl. Now, a quick background on my two dogs. Mikko, the Wonder Mutt, is about 4 years old. We got him, and he's hiding in the bedroom right now. He doesn't want to be part of this. We got him in December of 2018 when he was already 6 or 7 months old. He's been running with me for almost 3 years. Now, Mulan Melinda May is just over a year old. We got her last August in 2021. So between the two, Mikko came with some training obstacles. He already had some opportunities to learn some bad habits. We had to overcome that. But with Mindi, we could train her right away. We got her when she was only 2 months old. Now, Mikko's a collie mix with some cattle dog in there, which is where he gets a little bit of a protective and cautious nature, along with him wanting to herd other dogs, H-E-R-D, herd other dogs and people. Now, Mindi is a lab Rottie mix with a little bit of German Shepherd thrown in there for good measure. Now, before I continue, I'm not a vet. I'm not a professional dog trainer. Now, we asked our vet a lot of questions about both dogs for their suitability for running, and by we, I mean mostly my amazingly patient husband. Now, if you have questions about whether or not your dog is a good running dog, please ask your veterinarian before you take them out running. And for training questions, please consult a professional dog trainer. Now, both of them are high energy dogs, and Mikko gets a lot out of running with me. But since we're still just starting with Mindi, we hope the same is going to be true because she's a lot. Like, a lot. Now, here's some tips that helped me when we started running together. Ease your dog into it. Like many novice runners, we will start with a Couch to 5K program to get started. And the same is useful for your canine. In fact, some resources I found said that a Couch to 5K is a great way to start your dog out slow and easy, building up strength and endurance for some longer distances. Now, I've started taking Mindi for shorter runs, like 30 to 45 minutes. Now, we need to keep working with Mindi until she's used to running with me, so her runs are less frequent and shorter. Now, another good tip is to watch the weather, especially the pavement. If it's warm out, the dogs can overheat very quickly. Plus, if the pavement is hot, it could burn their feet. So make sure you're watching the conditions when running with your dog. Regardless of the weather, it's also a great idea to have access to clean water on your runs, especially if you're going to be out there for a while. Now, what are you doing? I personally am a morning runner anyway, so getting the dogs out before it gets too hot helps kind of motivate me to get going early. Another tip is to remember that a trained dog is a happy dog. Mikko was a challenging dog to train due to his personality, and we were constantly working with him. Now, Mindi's not as tough to train, but she's all puppy all the time. Mikko's a little bit of a scaredy dog and can overload very quickly with too much stimulus. He's great on the leash when we're running, but it took a lot of work to get there. Now, my husband is really the patient dog trainer in the family. He lays the training foundation, the groundwork, the obedience, setting boundaries, leash training for both dogs before I ever took either of them out for a run. And now here's the thing about dogs that we humans really kind of need to understand. They aren't four-legged furry humans. They communicate on a very different level than we do interpersonally, and it's important that we treat dogs and communicate with them the way they would communicate with each other, rather than how we would communicate with other humans. So training your dog isn't just about sit, stay, come, heel, all that stuff, but it's also about teaching us what dog behavior and communication looks like. And it's about adapting that behavior to communicate with them in a way they understand. Mindi, off. So how do I run with the dogs? Now, Mikko and I run together about 3 times a week, and as of right now, midsummer 2022, I'm running with Mindi once a week when I have a shorter run and maybe 1 or 2 additional walks during the week. Now, we haven't gotten to a point where we have all 3 of us running together because gosh, that would be a lot. Like, no, I can't even do that. We start with a brisk walk to warm up, which not only benefits me, but benefits the dog as well. It gets us kind of into the groove. When we do start running, we keep it to an easy jog. My average easy training pace is a light trot for both of them. If I'm doing something faster like tempo miles, those are Mikko runs. He loves them and he'll get into more of a natural dog trotting stride. Once Mindi gets comfortable running and gets a little older, she'll do those tempo and faster paces as well. Now let's talk gear. A leash for your dog is very important. Most public spaces and city ordinances require that your dog be on a leash at all times. And maybe your dog is well behaved off leash, that may be the case, but the other people and dogs you encounter may or may not know that. For everyone's safety, including your dog's, please keep your canine on a leash. Now, as a personal aside, extendable leashes are, in my mind, even worse than being off leash because the dog owner has no control over the dog, and the 15 to 20 feet of nylon cord can be a hazard for other people who might be coming by. Hey, get on the treadmill. Go on. Yeah, good girl. Up, up, up. Good girl. Yay, Mindi. Sit. Now we're going to switch gears to the treadmill training. It took me a minute to get her up here. Mindi took to it much faster than Mikko did. I know, yes. Now the basic idea is to associate the treadmill with reward. So before we even turned the treadmill on, we fed her every meal. We put the bowl right there. And so I would say, Mindi, treadmill. She's not going to do it now, but she'd get up on the deck and we'd pour her food while she sat there, while she sat on the deck. We'd let her eat. And then when she was done, we'd praise her, make her sit and then once she was calm, we'd say, go play. Now, after a couple of weeks of this, we added a step, and yes, it was weeks. But for Mikko, this process took a couple of months. So we turned on the console. We didn't have the belt going, but while she ate, we had the beeps and whistles and mechanical noises of the fan were all going off while she was eating, associating those sounds with the noisy. I haven't tried that before. Now, after another week of doing that, then we turned on the treadmill. So we had her get up on the deck. We'd pour the food, but before we let her eat, we turned on the belt at a very slow speed for about 1 minute. That was it.
Good girl.
Gosh, good girl.
Good treadmill. Good
girl.
Good. Keep going.
What the heck?
No.
My food keeps going away from me.
Good girl.
That's a good girl. So good.
Good baby.
I'm drooling.
That's just lubricating the
She's
treads.
drooling. Like, this isn't what I signed up for.
After that, we turned it off and let her eat. We praised her a lot. Now, over the course of the next couple of weeks, she got very comfortable with the whole process and even got up to doing 30 minutes on the treadmill. Nice slow walk for one whole session. Now we know that when it gets either too hot or too cold, we can take them out for long walks, or if either of them just need to burn some energy. We know that they both can still get some exercise on the treadmill. Now, quick note, we never leave either dog unattended on the treadmill. Now, to be clear, both of them, just like me, would rather be outside running, but this is a really good alternative and it's been great for all of us. So now let's talk about getting outside. Mikko, like with the treadmill, took a lot of time to get here, but we've been best running friends for a couple of years now. I can read his behavior on a run if he's triggered by a squirrel or a rabbit, and he knows that when he's leashed up, it's work time, not playtime. I do not let him greet other dogs or play while he's on the running leash. He's so good, actually, that he knows his left from his right. When I say easy or heel, he'll slow down. He doesn't pull all that much, and his favorite is tempo running. He knows when my watch beeps that we get to go fast, and he looks over his shoulder at me and he smiles. And it's really just, I love it. It's my favorite. Like I said, this took a long time. Now, we didn't start here. We didn't start him on a hands-free leash running 60 minutes at a time. It was a long time to train him, starting with close-in leash behavior, my hands on the leash, and basic commands like heel and stay, then gradually progressing to voice command and the hands-free leash. A lot of consistent patterns. Eventually, he got it, and I want to kind of underline this. Dogs, like humans, have different personalities between them, and it takes time for all of us to learn behaviors that may not be natural for us. If Mikko taught me anything, it's that setbacks require us to reset and start back a few steps to work back up again. So if you're training your dog to run on a treadmill or on the leash, remember that it takes deconstructing the goal and take very small steps at a time. Take your time with it and be patient. Mindi on the leash is a little different because she's part husky. She loves pulling. So my runs with her are a lot of stopping and starting as we train her and teach her to heel and slow down. I have my hands on the leash much more with her than I do with Mikko, but he used to pull a lot too. So I make sure that I take her not just for runs, but for brisk walks as well, purposeful walks. I will say that she knows what the red leash is for, and every time I get it out, she thinks it's her turn to go for a run. The bottom line is that running with your dog can be an enjoyable experience for both of you, really good for both of you. If you take the time to get the right information from your vet, train them with patience and love, and care for them like the fur babies they are. I love running with Mikko the Wonder Mutt, and I'm pretty sure he has fun running with me too. Mindi and I are getting there, but there's still a lot of puppy to manage, and that's okay. We will keep working with her, and I'm hoping that she'll get more opportunities to run with me. I'm really excited for it. My question for you today is this. Do you have a dog you run with? Do you enjoy it? Or do you, like us, need a little more work? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions in the comment section down below. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, you have no limits. Happy running.
Treadmill.
I was just there though, Dad.
Oh.
I was just there. I
You
got
go
it.
off. I know. Okay. You're gonna have to get off.
Mikko. Good boy. I know.
Good treadmill. I know you've been treadmill.
I want to go too.
Maybe.
Mikko, come. Hey, you sit. You sit. Stay. You stay.
Good.